Norah O'Donnell, the award-winning CBS News anchor and managing editor, has made a shocking announcement that has left many stunned. After years of gracing our screens with her commanding presence, she revealed that she is stepping away from CBS Evening News. This unexpected decision has not only surprised her loyal viewers, but has also sparked widespread speculation. However, the real reason behind her departure is even more heartbreaking. She is battling a serious health diagnosis that has forced her to make this difficult choice. Just before Thanksgiving, O'Donnell visited her dermatologist for a routine skin check, something she hadn't done in years. Like many people, she had put off these regular screenings, assuming everything was fine. But while out shopping for the holidays, she received an email from her doctor that immediately filled her with dread. The subject line was simple but alarming. "I'm sorry to bother you during the holiday, but your biopsy came back, and we need to talk." Tears welled up in her eyes as she read the message, her hands trembling as she quickly forwarded the email to her sister, seeking reassurance. Her sister tried to comfort her, saying it was probably nothing serious. Perhaps basal cell carcinoma or squamous cell carcinoma, the most common types of skin cancer, both of which their parents had been diagnosed with in the past. These types were considered highly treatable, so there was no need to panic. However, O'Donnell couldn't shake the feeling that this was different. Why was the doctor reaching out so urgently? Why couldn't it wait until after the holiday weekend? Her anxiety only grew as she dialed her dermatologist, Dr. Elizabeth Cahill, desperate for answers. When the doctor finally picked up, O'Donnell's worst fears were confirmed. The biopsy had revealed melanoma, the deadliest form of skin cancer. She felt the world around her crumble. She had always heard how aggressive and fast-moving melanoma could be, how it could take lives if not caught early. Was this happening to her? Was she going to die? She struggled to process the news, standing frozen in the middle of the busy Black Friday crowds. Dr. Hale's voice eventually snapped her back to reality. The doctor reassured her that the cancer was in its earliest stage, melanoma in situ, which meant it was still confined to the epidermis, the outermost layer of the skin. It had not yet penetrated the deeper layers where cancer cells could spread through the bloodstream and lymphatic system. While this was a huge relief, it didn't erase O'Donnell's fear. She knew that melanoma, though rare compared to other skin cancers, was responsible for the majority of skin cancer-related deaths. It was a chilling reminder of how serious the situation could have been if she had waited any longer to get checked. Determined to take immediate action, O'Donnell scheduled surgery without hesitation. A few weeks later, she returned to Dr. Hale's office to have the cancer removed. The procedure involved cutting out a 3-inch-long section of skin from the upper left corner of her back. The incision required 25 stitches and would leave a noticeable scar. Despite the pain and discomfort, she knew she was lucky. If she had ignored the warning signs or delayed her checkup any longer, the outcome could have been much worse. As a journalist, O'Donnell's instinct was to research her condition extensively. She learned that melanoma was not just common among older individuals, but was also the leading cause of skin cancer deaths in young women. Even more shocking was the realization that her own past habits had contributed to her risk. Growing up in San Antonio, where summer temperatures soared past 100 degrees Fahrenheit, she had frequently gone to the pool with friends without applying sunscreen. In high school, she had regularly visited tanning salons, especially before prom. At the time, she hadn't realized the dangers, but now she understood the harsh truth. People who used tanning beds before the age of 35 had a 75% higher chance of developing melanoma. Even more alarming, more people develop skin cancer from tanning than lung cancer from smoking. Aside from these external risk factors, O'Donnell also had several genetic predispositions. A family history of melanoma, her fair skin, and the presence of moles all put her at an increased risk. Her story became a wake-up call, not just for herself but for her viewers. She used her platform to advocate for early detection, urging everyone, especially young women, to get their skin checked regularly. Although her surgery was successful, her battle was not over. Dr. Hale informed her that she would need to come in every 3 to 4 months for regular checkups, as melanoma had a tendency to return. During each visit, O'Donnell underwent multiple biopsies. She joked that her body was beginning to look like the surface of the moon, full of craters from where suspicious spots had been removed. When she shared this with her father, he simply responded, "Better craters than cancer." Despite her commitment to her health, O'Donnell realized she needed to make another difficult decision, stepping down from CBS Evening News. She had been with the network for 12 years, serving as the anchor of the evening show for the past 5. Initially, she planned to stay through Inauguration Day, marking the end of another presidential election cycle, but ultimately, she decided it was time to move on. On January 23rd, she delivered her final broadcast, a night that was filled with emotion. CBS wanted to give her a proper send-off, and they did something special. Oprah Winfrey made a surprise appearance, dedicating a heartfelt tribute to O'Donnell's career. A montage of her most memorable interviews played on screen, showcasing the years of dedication and impact she had made in journalism. Winfrey praised O'Donnell's ability to handle every story with grace and compassion, highlighting the rare qualities that made her such a respected journalist. As O'Donnell wrapped up her final show, she reflected on everything she had been through. The scar on her back, still bright red from surgery, would likely remain for the rest of her life. If she wore a strapless dress, it would be visible, but she no longer saw it as something to hide. Instead, she viewed it as a powerful reminder. Early detection had saved her life. It marked the end of one chapter, but also the beginning of a new journey toward wellness and advocacy. Although she has stepped away from CBS Evening News, O'Donnell remains committed to raising awareness about melanoma. She continues to share her story, encouraging others to prioritize their health and take preventative measures. Her experience is a powerful lesson. No matter how busy life gets, taking the time for regular checkups can make all the difference. O'Donnell's legacy in journalism is undeniable, but her most important message now is one of awareness and survival. Events were put into context, offering a hug, a little laughter, and a whole lot of smiles along the way. This was a heartfelt tribute. In response, O'Donnell recalled her time as the anchor of CBS Evening News and called it the honor of a lifetime. She also thanked viewers for trusting and welcoming hard news with heart into their homes. As the broadcast began wrapping up, the CBS Evening News crew surrounded O'Donnell's desk and gave her a round of applause. Norah ended the show that evening by saying, "I'll miss you too." So, for the final time, that's tonight's CBS Evening News. I owe it all to everyone I work with. Seriously, love you. Good night. This marked the last time Norah O'Donnell appeared on CBS Evening News. But what was going to happen next? Who would replace the irreplaceable Norah O'Donnell, who had graced our screens with her extraordinary voice and unique journalistic attitude? There are so many people who work hard to put that broadcast on every night. While viewers see the correspondents out in the field, there are also editors and producers working tirelessly behind the scenes. With O'Donnell's departure, CBS made a major change to the evening news program. Starting on January 27th, John Dickerson and Maurice Dubois would anchor the CBS Evening News from its new home at the CBS Broadcast Center in New York. Additionally, CBS News Chief Foreign Affairs Correspondent and Face the Nation host Margaret Brennan would anchor political and foreign affairs coverage from Washington, D.C. Meanwhile, weather coverage would be handled by Lonnie Quinn. Unlike before, when Norah O'Donnell managed everything, this time the program's responsibilities would be shared by 4 different people. This restructuring followed 5 years of the show being broadcast from Washington, D.C. Despite stepping down from CBS Evening News, O'Donnell was not leaving the network entirely. She was instead promoted to a higher role within CBS. Currently, she serves as a senior correspondent, contributing to special reports, major interviews, and investigative pieces for 60 Minutes, evening shows, CBS News Sunday mornings, and other CBS programs. In a statement released by CBS News CEO Wendy McMahon, he expressed his gratitude for Norah's exceptional work on CBS Evening News over the past 5 years. He also thanked her for deciding to continue working with CBS through the election, despite the announcement of her departure. McMahon emphasized that even in her final days on the show, O'Donnell upheld her duties as a devoted journalist. McMahon added that O'Donnell's new role would allow her to contribute across CBS and Paramount, enabling the world to see more of the groundbreaking stories and interviews that have been the hallmark of her career. Her position as a senior correspondent also gave her the flexibility to secure major interviews across multiple platforms. This new opportunity was a significant milestone in O'Donnell's career, and she embraced it wholeheartedly. However, one thing is certain. Viewers are going to miss her presence as the host of CBS Evening News. Norah O'Donnell's most memorable moments at CBS. Throughout her career, Norah O'Donnell has had numerous unforgettable moments as a CBS anchor. One of the most remarkable was her exclusive interview with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. This interview was a pivotal moment, as it marked the first time in 13 years that a U.S. television network had secured an interview with a Saudi leader. O'Donnell traveled to Saudi Arabia for a week to conduct the interview for 60 Minutes. This was Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's first U.S. television interview, and O'Donnell did not shy away from asking tough and controversial questions. She inquired about Saudi Arabia's role in the civil war in Yemen, its relationship with Iran, human rights concerns, and its chief rival in the region. The interview not only showcased O'Donnell's skill as an exceptional journalist, but also solidified her reputation as someone capable of securing and conducting high-stakes discussions with world leaders. Another major milestone in her career was her interview with Vice President Joe Biden in 2016. O'Donnell had initially been offered a brief interview with him, but turned it down. Not once, but twice, because she wanted a more in-depth sit-down conversation. She persisted for months until she finally secured a full-length interview with Biden and his wife, Dr. Jill Biden, for 60 Minutes. This became the first interview Biden granted after deciding not to run for president in 2016, despite widespread speculation that he would follow Barack Obama. It was also the first extended interview the Bidens gave following the tragic passing of their son, Beau Biden. This persistence paid off in a big way. O'Donnell's commitment to securing high-profile interviews earned her the White House Correspondents Association's Merriman Smith Memorial Award in Broadcast Journalism. The White House recognized her tenacity, as she had spent over 4.5 years persistently reaching out to Biden's chief of staff, communications staff, White House press secretaries, and even close friends of the vice president, all to land that historic interview. Another groundbreaking interview in O'Donnell's career was her exclusive sit-down with Pope Francis. This was a rare and surprising moment, as very few in-depth interviews with a sitting pope have ever aired on a U.S. broadcast network. The 60 Minutes interview provided Pope Francis with a platform to speak directly to the world on several contemporary issues, including the Vatican's stance on blessing same-sex couples. During the discussion, Pope Francis clarified a controversial declaration issued by the Vatican's Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith, explaining that while the Church does not bless same-sex unions, it does bless individuals. This rare interview was another testament to O'Donnell's ability to secure meaningful and impactful conversations with some of the world's most influential figures. Norah O'Donnell's journey to the top. Before becoming one of the most recognized faces in television journalism, Norah O'Donnell's journey was one of perseverance and dedication. Born on January 23, 1974 in Washington, D.C. to Irish parents, she had strong family roots. 3 of her grandparents were immigrants, and her maternal grandfather lived in the U.S. illegally for 16 years before becoming a citizen. When Norah was 3 years old, her family moved to San Antonio, Texas. Later, they relocated to Seoul, South Korea, where O'Donnell got her first exposure to broadcasting. While in elementary school, she videotaped English lessons for the Korean Educational Development Institute. Eventually, her family returned to San Antonio, where O'Donnell attended Douglas MacArthur High School, graduating in 1991. She then pursued higher education at Georgetown University, earning a Bachelor of Arts degree in philosophy in 1995 and a Master of Arts degree in liberal studies in 2003. Her career began as a staff writer for Roll Call, where she covered Congress. She later spent 12 years at NBC, where she worked in various roles, including as a commentator for Today, chief Washington correspondent for MSNBC, and White House correspondent for NBC News. She also contributed to NBC Nightly News and served as an anchor for Weekend Today. With such an extensive background in journalism, it's no surprise that O'Donnell rose to prominence at CBS. Her fearless reporting, ability to secure high-profile interviews, and journalistic integrity have made her a household name. While she may no longer be the face of CBS Evening News, her legacy continues through her new role as a senior correspondent, where she will undoubtedly continue to deliver groundbreaking stories and exclusive interviews that captivate audiences worldwide. Norah O'Donnell has had an illustrious career in journalism, making significant contributions across multiple networks. She has been a regular pundit for The Chris Matthews Show and has worked extensively with The Today Show, NBC, and MSNBC. In July 2011, she joined CBS as a co-anchor for CBS This Morning, and from there, she quickly rose through the ranks. On May 6, 2019, O'Donnell was named the anchor and managing editor of CBS Evening News, a role that solidified her as a leading journalist in political and global affairs. She also served as the network's lead anchor for political events and remained a contributing correspondent for 60 Minutes. Over the years, she has held several notable positions, including chief White House correspondent, fill-in anchor for CBS Evening News, co-anchor of CBS This Morning, correspondent for 60 Minutes, and anchor and managing editor for CBS Evening News. Currently, she holds the role of senior correspondent at CBS. O'Donnell's dedication to journalism has been remarkable, and her commitment to delivering hard-hitting news stories has earned her numerous accolades. Her hard work and devotion have not gone unnoticed, as she has received multiple awards and global recognition. She was named one of Washington's 100 most powerful women and was listed among Irish America magazine's top 100 Irish Americans in 2000. In 2001, she won the Sigma Delta Chi Award for breaking news coverage on the Dateline NBC story, D.C. in Crisis. Her excellence in journalism was further recognized in 2008 when she won an Emmy for outstanding live coverage of a breaking news story. In 2018, she received another Emmy for her 6-month investigative report on sexual assault at the U.S. Air Force Academy, which aired on CBS This Morning. That same year, she was honored by the White House Correspondents Association with the Edgar Allan Poe Award for her journalistic achievements. Currently, O'Donnell resides in Washington, D.C. and New York City's Upper West Side with her husband, Jeff Tracy, the owner of the D.C. restaurant Chef Jeff's. The couple, who married in June 2001, have 3 children, Grace, Henry, and Riley. As she transitions into her new role at CBS, many wonder how her departure from CBS Evening News will impact the network and whether the new anchors will be able to fill her shoes. What are your thoughts on Norah O'Donnell's career shift and her health diagnosis? Do you think the new host will live up to her legacy? Let us know in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. Also, check out the next video on your screen. You won't want to miss it.